Hey Zingers, it's Dan Leach, and I have a wonderful guest for you today. It is Sabrina Quinn, the National Sales Director for CohnReznick's. So great to be with you today, Sabrina.
It's so great to be with you as well, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Well, excited to talk about this because, listen, we've been hearing a lot about AI these days, as you all know. Everywhere you turn, it's AI can do this, AI can do that. I'm sure you have customers asking you daily about how they can leverage AI in their businesses. As a decades-old accounting, advisory, and tax services firm, I know that CohnReznick knows a lot about AI. How are you helping customers navigate this new world, and how are you helping them tell the difference between AI hype and true AI impact?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's such a great question, Dan. The reality is in 2025, there's a lot of different components that businesses have to face, and AI is just one of them. But I think the thing that makes CohnReznick authentic to its customers at its core is that, yes, we're getting asked about it all the time, but we're really focused on clients and their outcomes, right? What is the business strategy? What is going to make you successful? And how can we be a strategic partner in getting you there? And so, whether it's some of our clients that are looking to accelerate their growth, whether they are really focused on risk management and compliance considerations, or whether they're trying to optimize operations and manage cost savings, there are a variety of levers that we are able to pull on their behalf in the way that we solution. And that includes our subject matter experts. That includes, standardized processes and workflows. And of course, it includes technology, which you can't even bring into the picture without, considering AI. But that is the way that we approach it with them. What is the outcome? What are you trying to solve for? It's hard to see the forest through the trees sometimes in 2025, but guiding them through their business challenges and using everything at our disposal, inclusive of AI, to enable them to make better decisions for their business.
God, it's perfectly said. As I love to say, it's what a time to be alive. There's so many good things happening. And as you all know, AI is obviously already here, and business users may not even realize it. Whether it's their sales software or customer relationship management software, vendors are obviously incorporating more and more AI in their offerings. Can you tell us about the AI already embedded in popular apps and why it's useful for these businesses to test the AI waters with this first, and how can they unlock the value of that AI?
Yeah. Well, look, Dan, here's what I'll say is, I run a sales team. I spend every day working with clients, and I've spent my career building relationships with people. And everyone loves to tell you, right? I don't necessarily need a salesperson in the room, or I don't love to be sold to. And I think AI has actually helped us to demyth this, and kind of, be a myth buster, so to speak, because turn on your TV. I'm sure you've got a different algorithm that shows you, Dan, what you'd like to view when you pop on Netflix. Or, if someone in your house is, hopping on a Peloton, the screen that they're shown is probably different than mine. I'm not getting any, 27-mile marathons proposed to me. It's going to be light stretches and meditations. And that's how we can leverage AI. All of us, it's just technology that enables various apps and technologies to serve us as customers better. And that's the way we approach it as CohnReznick. It's not kind of hitting you over the head with a hammer of this is AI. It is, whether it's customer success, it's performance metrics, it's embedding it into use cases, day by day. Think of it as, an admin by your side if you're using like a Copilot or a Chat GPT, or, building in all the existing functionality from the various tools we already use. It's just kind of, again, meeting our clients where they are. And I think meeting each of us as users where we are in our consumer journey.
Sure. And something else I wanted to ask you about, Sabrina, is obviously AI FOMO is real, and businesses don't want to miss the boat and are rushing to roll out AI capabilities. But what could go wrong, you think, with that approach possibly?
I mean, what couldn't go wrong when you use FOMO as your North Star for why you should do anything, right? Yeah, I think that the fear of missing out, some people like to say the joy of missing out, but just like with anything, we are still learning a lot about AI and technology and machine learning. There are so many new things coming to market. And so I think what you could do wrong is maybe misalign your business needs with the desire to rush a new technology. Obviously there are cyber threats and security issues, and then also just changing regulation and the way that we think about what good looks like, and making sure that you're compliant in the way that you implement. And so I think that there is an approach where, with anything that we do, especially the highly regulated customers that we serve, caution is a good approach. But that said, this idea of, FOMO when it comes to AI, I would argue we're pretty far past that, Dan. There are a lot of organizations that have been using AI for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And so it's no longer the fear of missing out. It's probably more the risk of missing out or reality of missing out. Notice I'm not saying Romo as I sit here and outside of Philadelphia and, an Eagles fan. I'm not going to say Romo is the way to go. But I do think that there is, value that our clients leave on the table when they don't approach this, albeit with caution, but use it as a way to propel their businesses forward.
Yeah, Cowboy fans might have an issue with you there, but you beat him every year anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He's a newscaster now, so we can put those, allegiances
Yeah,
or
put
threats
it to the
aside.
side. So when
Exactly.
something else that I think is really important to differentiate is obviously having AI and getting a benefit from the two are two different things. It often requires obviously a team effort. How can cross-functional teams, whether it's sales, obviously which you're an expert in, marketing or tech, work together to make AI successful within an organization? And what approach from the top to the bottom does everyone have to take with AI?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like Dan, it's the same thing that we tell clients. I think it's just meeting people where they are in their day to day. We're actually going through kind of like an AI use case hackathon with our sales and marketing organization right now. And we're asking people just think about everything you do day over day, everything you do week over week, what areas that you've got challenges, how you want to share information across teams, how we want to measure value better as a sales and marketing organization internally and show that ROI. AI can really accelerate all of those different things. And so, I've got folks on my team who have been selling for decades. And so the idea of asking them to leverage AI can be a challenge. But I think of it as, do you want an assistant by your side? Somebody that can even challenge you to, are you being as efficient as you think you are? Are you meeting customers where you need to? You can use Copilot. We've implemented it in a way that's compliant so we can use it and say, what emails haven't I followed up on that I should? Can you help me prepare for this upcoming meeting using the tools that we've already implemented? And then I think for us in the way that we, collaborate cross functionally, it's not just functions, it's also time zones and regions. We've got, a large offshore team that supports us in sales and marketing as well. And so I think AI helps us to say, with the finite number of people in our organization and a finite number of hours in the day, how can we get even more out of those interactions on behalf of our clients so that when they come to us, we're as well prepared as possible and we're serving them with value?
Sure. So many amazing possibilities as well as you well know. And listen, Sabrina, we've talked about the practice behind AI, but what about the results? Can you tell us some of the success stories you have seen with clients that utilize AI in their businesses to improve performance and reduce costs? And what was behind their success stories?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, we really practice what we preach here at CohnReznick, and not only are we leveraging AI in our day to day, but we are infusing it into the way that we deliver solutions on behalf of our clients. And so, I think we can all see right now, you turn on the news any given day, there are updates regarding, tariff changes, there's volatility and inflation, supply chain challenges. And given the fact that we serve a number of clients across like manufacturing and distribution, life sciences, private equity, and banks, all of those clients are struggling to understand how they can, continue to push their business forward, but do so in a macro environment that changes every day. And so we actually developed a AI, proprietary tool to help with risk diagnostics specifically related to tariffs called RQ Trim. And what we have found is that, a lot of our clients felt like they were able to measure risk. They had processes in house. They probably developed different strategies using Excel or a mix of their own subject matter experts. But what we were able to do using AI is take the same forms that they already complete, the same customs forms, take all of those other financial inputs that exist, use AI to ingest them in a quick survey, probably 12 minutes required in time of like a CFO of an organization to either, level set, did we get the same results in terms of actually quantified risk in the near, longer, and, future looking value? Or were the results, differentiated in that it would guide you to make some different choices on behalf of your business? And so that tool, we're leveraging AI to do different scenario modeling. Our clients can rerun it. They have dynamic product mixes that it takes into consideration. And again, it all comes down to filling out a 12 to 15-minute survey using financial inputs you already have. And you go from, business stagnation to business acceleration. And so that's just one of the ways that we're trying to help clients, because when you say risk management, there are a lot of different question marks that appear, but what we're trying to do is give people, the period, the comma, the exclamation mark that they feel like they can move forward and do so in a differentiated way.
Just amazing stuff and endless possibilities. Like I said, an incredible time to be alive. Sabrina Quinn, the National Sales Director for CohnReznick. That was an absolutely fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. Thank you again for having me. I really look forward to continued conversation, and I hope everybody leans in. The time is now, and FOMO is in our rearview mirror.